Okay, so we're going to go ahead and install CentOS. This is just a guide in case you're having trouble with it. I've already got one set up here, but let's make another. So go ahead and hit New, CentOS, give it some name. You want to make sure that the type of the VM is Linux and that the version is Red Hat 64. CentOS is a clone of Red Hat, so we're just using that. For memory, it's going to be system dependent. Go with a gig or more. Hard drive, also system dependent. You can just click through the types. And when it asks you for storage, give it at least 12 gig. More is obviously fine. So now we've got this shell of a VM. We need to attach the CentOS ISO, so we'll come into the VM settings, go to storage, and then here where you see this little CD icon, you click over here, choose a virtual optical disk, navigate to where your ISO is, select and open. From there, it's a matter of starting it. It'll automatically boot up to the CD drive because there's nothing installed. You don't want to test the media because that just takes a long time, so go ahead and hit install. Goes through some boot up stuff. Might look a little funky like it does for me. And eventually, there we go. So now you're presented with a nice little GUI installer. You can choose your English, or you can choose your language. I prefer English, but that's up to you. Hit continue. Okay, in here, there's a few things to go through. First, date and time. Probably not super important, but worth doing, I think. From there, we're going to change the software selection to server with a GUI. You're probably going to want a GUI unless you're a Linux whiz, in which case I'm not sure why you're watching this video. From here, we want to do we want to change the partitioning of the system. So come in here, you see it's sort of already got some automatic stuff. Right down here, you want to change I will configure partitioning, and then hit done. So from there, just click this little bit and it'll automatically create a default partition layout, which you can then modify. And the only one we want to modify is swap. We need to increase that by about a gig. So just go in here, hit 2, update settings. That'll steal 2 gig. Oh, I'm sorry. Shrink this one by a gig. Then increase this one by a gig. Then update settings. There we go. Now you hit done. Yes, accept changes, destroy everything. And I'm going to turn on my Ethernet device just because I like internet. Done. Begin installation. So it's already doing what it needs to do to install. We have 2 more things to change here. First, a root password. If you're not familiar with the Unix world, root is effectively administrator. Root can do anything to the system, can wipe out anything, has total control. So I'm going to add my super secure password. It's going to complain that that's weak, so I'm going to hit that twice and force it to accept it. Also going to create a user for myself. Going to make my user an administrator. If you don't click this, basically anytime you see the word sudo throughout the rest of the class, if you're not an administrator, sudo will fail for you. And I'm going to give myself a nice secure password as well. Hit done twice, and it's going. So from here, you just wait and let it reboot, and we'll pick that up in the next video.